the back squat. Now, coach is gonna go ahead and give 2 reps just to remind you what it looks like. Remember, we're supposed to feel this in the posterior chain. It's going to go and be butt and hamstrings. Now, we need to go ahead and realize our foundational aspect of this move is the air squat. So remember and refer back to that movement guide for where your feet, knees, hips are supposed to travel and move towards. But the biggest thing that's going to be different is the bar path, because that is how we make sure this movement is definitely more of that butt and hamstring builder rather than the quad builder. Now, if Amy travels and goes down and then pauses, we will notice that the barbell stays in the center or between the area of the base, which is the front of her toe to the back of the heels. Now, this is gonna force her to drag her hip further back than a normal front squat or air squat, and it's going to really force that posterior chain engagement. Now, the other aspect is understanding that it might cause you to pitch your shoulder forward a little bit more to keep this nice and tight. That might feel a little foreign to some of us, but remember, we're trying to build that posterior chain, which can be trying to develop a little bit more of a strong lower back to mid back to be able to hold just that slight more tilted forward position. Now, for those of us that have a hard time, we have to understand it's not this big pitch forward. So boom, if any pauses there, if we notice the barbell is no longer over her feet, it's forward of the feet, or if anything, it's right over her toes. That's where we really want to try to make sure we're leaning the hip back, but we're still trying to keep that torso relatively upright, and that's going to keep you honest. So those are going to be the durability tips. It's relatively straightforward. Now, if we think about the try hard tips, this is going to be more about how do we go ahead and make this rack position a little bit more virtuous, a little bit more locked in. Now, everybody's a little different. Some people will think about pushing into the bar and creating this larger shelf here on the traps on her neck, and Amy's gonna go ahead and rotate, right? We'll pull her here off to the side, right? So this is what we joke around, God's natural barbell. Some of us might not have this. So you have to think about shrugging up into the bar, and then from there you can grab the bar and then kind of pull it down and lock it. Now that's gonna go ahead and create a really strong upper back position and create tension and open up your chest. Other people will just go ahead and think about pulling down and driving as hard as they can and pulling it into their body at all times. Now, that is what you do to get the rack position, and then that's what I would suggest on the way down. Now on the way up, some people keep that feeling of pulling hard really down, but other people like, right, and especially when it gets really heavy, I like to do this too, is think about pushing up into the bar with our hands. Of course, there's gonna be enough weight to where you're not actually physically gonna be able to lift the bar off your body, but it just takes a little bit of pressure, and if anything, it helps you neurologically to think, oh wait, hold it, this bar is supposed to be going up, and the entirety of the body starts to work for you in that direction. Guys, those are your durability and try hard tips.